Okay, yes. Okay, Light, welcome back. Darshan Kumar, welcome back. Human being. Ooh, okay.
Hello, guys.
Hello, human being. Uh,
One God, many gods, or none, huh? We are talking
yeah,
about this.
that's also
I
the
also,
topic.
I believe that, yeah, I am not very fan of any religious, even though I am a Muslim person. But now I am at 46 years age old, and I also search a little bit about other religions. But it is my opinion. I am not judging anyone, or it is only my opinion. If you approve or not, it is your business. But I believe it is one God, but I believe strongly all the religions, books, yeah, Bible or Quran, whatever. I think all these books have been altered by the people when the time passes by. That is my opinion because I am also reading sometimes Quran, and some things I think intentionally change by the people for affecting them and for using them for their own advantages, for their own benefits by the religious clerics or religious leaders. I am, for example, in Muslim countries, some politicians uses religion for taking votes from the people by using religion, but I also know they are not the real religious people, I am sure, but by saying some sayings from the religious books, they try to affect people, and against, in return, they take their votes for the election.
Okay,
Some, yes.
so just because someone is using a religion, that's not a proof that it has been altered.
Mhm.
Do you have evidence, clear evidence that people changed those books?
As I said, I am not an expertise for saying that thing, that is the evidence, but some examples I am reading from the religious book is not logic for me. For example, it says some place, as I understand, I can also understand from the saying,
Oh,
they give some,
if something is illogical, that means it has been changed?
yes, because
Really?
some people say it hasn't been changed, but how they can prove it hasn't changed? It is also my
Oh,
question.
okay,
They
that's
say,
your question, I understand, but so far no one claimed that in this room, okay? So that's why you
mhm,
shouldn't ask evidence for such a claim because I don't have such a claim. But you have a claim that it has been changed. Now it's your job to prove that they changed that.
yeah, good question by your side.
It's not a question, it's a
Um,
request because it's your burden, because it was your claim that they changed something. Then you are supposed to show me evidence, okay? How do you know that they changed? So far, you said that mm, illogical, and then you said previously some people use for their benefits, and two of those things are not evidence for your claim, which is those books have been altered.
mhm.
I'm an atheist, by the way. I don't believe in any holy book. I don't follow any
By
religion.
the way, in the past, I was very religious person. It is also my story. But when I get older, I am becoming more away from the religious purposes. It is very different. It is very interesting for me because when I compare with my younger age, now day by day I am going away from the religion. It is a different thing. Normally, when I get older, I should be more close to the religion because of maybe my time is coming for dying. Yeah, and it is
Oh,
very different. I also know many people around me. They were very religious, but I do not know. Maybe people are using religion many times, and maybe this thing bothers me also because they are saying giving examples from the religion, but when they look at their original life, they are not aware of the religion. They only cheat people by using religion. Yeah, not only in Islam but also in other religions. I am seeing lots of examples. Yeah, and maybe that kinds of things unconsciously triggering some thinking like that because people are two faces. Generally, religious people two faces, hypocritical faces people, and sometimes atheists or the other people who do not believe any religion are more trustable than the religious people. I also have this example in my life. Yeah,
okay.
maybe.
I don't think like there's a number says that which side is more trustable. I'm sure there are really reliable people among believers, and yeah, there are also reliable people among atheists. But I don't know how to compare. Okay, nothing much to talk when there are two atheists. What about you, Light? Did I ask you?
But
Did I ask you before? Do you believe a God exists or not?
I'm a Muslim. I believe that God exists.
Okay, so do you want to say anything or ask anything so far? You heard many conversations so far, many arguments,
Yeah, everyone is free to believe in what.
and they're free not to believe also, yeah.
Hmm.
Oh, I think he was an atheist. Am I right, human being?
No, no, I
Mm.
am not atheist. I am believing God. I
Oh,
am sure
really?
because yes, I
Oh,
am.
I'm sorry.
I
I'm
I
sorry.
only sure. I am only sure about that issue. Yeah, there must be a God because I can easily understand from my observation from in my environment also. Nothing can be meaningless in our life
I think can
because
be
I have a
meaningful.
cat in my house. I have a pet. I am
Mm-hmm.
also observing him. I have a cat named Grape. He's automatically, for example, I brought him from the street. He was a stray cat. Automatically, he went to his toilet, and after that, he covered his toilet with the sand. After seeing these things, not only cat, even birds, they are doing some things intentionally. Yeah, there is some goals for these animals to live in this world. I can easily for also people. We are also coming this world not meaninglessly. Yeah, there is also meaning for our creation. I am also sure, but as I said, the thing I am not convincing about the religious books because
Okay,
when I read them,
sorry, man. Sorry for the interruption. Like, let's do
sorry.
not speak about the part we agree or we don't believe. So you don't believe in religions. I don't believe in religions. I don't think we should talk about religions right now. I'm curious about the God part because it's the part where we do not agree. So you believe a God exists, and I don't believe
Yes,
a God
yes,
exists.
I believe there is God. It should be a God, yeah, because
Yeah,
I cannot. Mhm.
and why you think there's a God? You said like my cat was able to do something, and you also spoke about meaning. Can you
Because
elaborate more? Because like we or animals are doing a lot of things, and they're doing a lot of things through instincts, as Julie said in the chat box. So I don't think we should consider that as a good evidence for God.
maybe you have heard there was a story related to deers in USA. I do not remember the exact place, but some people thought that we should protect the deers from the wolves, and after that, people decided to terminate the life of wolves in that area in USA. After um, terminating their life in that area, they saw the population of deers increase skyrocketed. Yeah, and after that, they could not control the ecosystem in this area. After that, the experts came together and they uh, conclude one solution. Okay, guys, we should bring that wolf to that area. Otherwise, we could not provide the necessary balance in this area. Yeah. From that example, also, will also come to my cat. This everything is normally have good system in this world. Everything is programmed in a good way by God, or the name can be different, but we are saying God. And
Yeah, but
when yes,
something causes another thing, right? If you change
yes,
one thing,
exactly,
then there will be other consequences. You cannot
yes,
expect.
exactly.
So it's very logical to, take the wolves out of the equation and expect a similar result. That's so illogical. And it's obvious that if you take one thing, then there can be and there will be differences. It's very obvious. Well, why we should think that it's a system ordained by an intelligent being? Why we should think that? Well, what we observe and what we understand logically, it's simple that if you change something, then the results can be different. That's clear. But when it
Hmm.
comes to your example, you're saying, oh, I think this has been organized by a god. I don't think
Hmm.
so, because what I observe is not enough to conclude that it's because of a god. Yeah, those systems are just a collection of causation, like things causes other things, and then those things causes other things, and when you give enough time, you can try to see the patterns, like the patterns shape in time. Then we look at those patterns, and we can explain them through causation.
I think everything is possible. So everything that he said is true. I can prove it to you.
Uh, ev- okay, go on.
I'll prove it to you. So do you think the universe is infinite? It's infinite, right?
I don't know, it can be so.
Well, because there can't be nothing, right? There's always something, right?
There was always something. Okay.
Even if there's nothing, that's something, right?
Even if there's nothing, there's something? What does that mean?
No, even when there's nothing, it's still something. It's still
Even
something.
if
There's
there's
always
nothing.
it's illogical that there's nothing. There's always something, correct?
Okay, let's say there was always something. Okay, I don't have a problem with that
So
statement.
that means that the universe is infinite, correct?
That means the universe is infinite? No, it doesn't mean.
Yes, it does,
No, it
because there's
doesn't mean.
always something. There's always
Yeah,
something. So
and
that
that
means it's
something doesn't
infinite,
have to
right?
be the universe.
It's something. It's whatever. Again, it could be called something else, right?
No,
So
if
let's say
there was no universe,
it doesn't matter what it is. There's always something. So it's infinite. So that means everything is possible, right? Within everything, is that correct?
everything is possible?
Everything you can imagine is possible. Is that correct?
No.
Well, of course it's
It's
correct.
just
Why?
possible to imagine
Because the
things.
infinity, because of infinity.
Okay,
Everything that you can imagine
okay.
exists.
I imagine 10 gods right now. Do you think that that's
Yeah,
possible?
because somewhere in the universe that does exist. You see what I mean?
Somewhere Indian, but like the gods that I imagine, they're not in the universe.
It even exists in your mind. It exists somewhere.
I don't give a shit about
Anything
the
you can
things that exist in
imagine
my mind.
exists somewhere
Yeah, but I don't
because of
care about
infinity.
the things that exist in my mind only. I don't care
It
about
doesn't matter. If it exists in your mind, couldn't it exist somewhere in the universe?
what about outside of this universe?
How did you think of it? How did you think of it?
Just
If
imagine. You
infinity
said it's
exists,
impossible if you can think about it.
if infinity exists, that means everything is possible. So if everything is possible, that means everything you can imagine
That's
actually
contradictory,
exists.
man. Like one God
Right?
exists and many gods
It's
exist
possible.
together. It's contradictory.
Everything is true. Everything that everybody is saying in here is actually true.
No, that doesn't make any sense.
Of course, it makes sense.
No, it doesn't make sense.
Well,
This
if it
universe
would
is
make sense
infinite
too.
doesn't mean that everything you imagine is true.
Well, sure, because you imagined it, right?
No, it's not.
And
The only
if the
true thing
universe
here
is
is that
infinite,
you imagine those
if
things.
if the universe is infinite, that means everything is possible. Everything is possible.
No, it doesn't mean.
Of course it does.
No.
Everything, it's infinity.
Of course it doesn't mean. Of course it doesn't mean. Of course. When you say
It
of
doesn't
course,
say
when
that.
you repeat of course, that doesn't mean it is the case.
Well, that's true too. So everything you're saying is true, correct?
No, it's not. For example,
Everything that you're saying is untrue?
I shat gold 2 hours ago.
What?
That's what I say. What I said.
What are you saying?
I shat gold 2 hours ago.
Yeah, how do you know that you didn't? Somewhere in the
I
universe.
just claimed that somewhere in the universe.
But you can't prove that, right?
Okay, man, you're not making sense. I'm not.
That makes
planning
sense. What I'm saying,
No. I'm not planning to waste my time. Yeah, how do you know that you didn't shit in the universe where it was gold? Okay. Hey, Cat Lauer. Sorry for the interruption.
No problem.
Yeah, we were talking about order, and I was saying that, oh, I think those are just patterns that existed in time. Yeah, that they're kind of making sense. Like we don't see any problem, we observe them. There's the causation, but to me, it's not enough that to think that it's from a god. It was designed by a god. So if the universe has a designer, I'll ask this question: who designed the designer?
Well, yeah, this is a question like there is no end. Yeah, we can ask lots of questions because I agree with you. From one point, I cannot also find some reasons. Yeah, the question comes immediately: who create the creator? Blah blah. It's going endlessly, but after one point, I cannot find also some explanation. But I choose the shortcut, and I am saying it should be absolutely someone who created all the things. Yeah, maybe my mind is not enough to prove that thing, but everything cannot happen accidentally, or
But
because
if
even
I say the creator of this universe cannot exist accidentally, that means it has a creator.
yes, absolutely, because
Oh,
when
really?
you see, yes, because that with your own mind, for example, you see a good castle or you see a good house, and you are saying, "Oh, what a good design!" You say, but it's a simple house, yeah. But there are lots of galaxies, stars. We have only a dot in this world, not even a dot. We are maybe a cent in this world. We are not important actually. from this saying, because we are also knowing this, sun comes closer to the world, we can be burned, or if the sun goes far from the world, we will cool down, we will frozen, blah blah. Yeah, maybe it should be an explanation. Also, the death, our death is also a good example for the God. I think there is a system we can easily understand. Normally, for me, I can easily convince myself, oh, there is a system in this world.
Okay,
We are
but
coming to the
like how can you believe that like all those systems goes like infinitely back? Like again, you said, oh, okay, it's maybe the creator of this universe has another creator, but we can keep
Mhm.
like that infinitely. Does it make sense to you?
No, actually,
So how do you solve the problem?
because finally there is, for example, for a school, for a university, and there is a system, and above the system there is a dean at the university, yeah, rector at the university, and there is only one person who authorizes from everything that's happening around the premises of the campus, yeah, or wherever you go, there is everywhere there is one authorized person. I think if we increase the examples, when it comes to the all universe, we can easily connect all universe to one person or God, whatever it is
No,
named.
false. It's a false logic, man. For example,
Why?
let's suppose I came to Earth as an alien, and
Hmm.
I asked, hey, human being, who is the, president of this planet?
Hmm.
What would be your answer?
Mm. Yeah, but I will say, for me, I convinced, as I said, I can easily say God created everything.
No, 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 no. I think you didn't get the question. I came to this planet as an alien,
Okay.
and I have seen you, and I said, hey, human being, who is the ruler of this planet? Who's the king of this planet?
Um, for as a joke, maybe Donald Trump is the king. He's thinking he is the king of this
Uh,
world.
Like, I don't care what he thinks, though. I care about what you think. Or I care about what's the truth here. Do you think that there's only one king of this planet?
No, no, I am only joking, but yeah, I
Yeah,
will not.
you know that there are a lot of presidents on this planet, right? Many presidents are ruling this planet. So just because there's one
Mhm.
thing, that doesn't mean there's only one ruler of it. Or when it comes to the building example, when there's the building, that doesn't mean there's only one person who built the building. There are many builders of it, right?
True.
Yeah, and that leads us to many gods. And like there's a universe,
Ah,
there are a lot of things
I
in the
think
universe. So then we can say, okay, there must be many creators who created this universe. That was the topic of this room, by the way.
good question, and I think you have given a simple but very challenging example. Now I have also a little bit paradox inside me after this example. Yeah, and yes, as you said, there are lots of contractors, there are lots of builders. They are building, but they are not fighting with each other. Huh? Some people, some religious people say, if there were lots of gods, the a conflict would erupt in all the universe. But with your example, you refute or you object that claims. Yeah, thank you. It is a good example, and now I am a little bit perplexed with your good example, Saber. Yeah.
So open-minded. Yeah, and are really aware of the answers of the believers, and you can easily understand the problem. Yes, you're right. They claim that there would be a fight. That's why there cannot be many creators, many builders, which
Yeah,
is
you can
false,
easily say.
really.
Mhm. Yes,
A-
yes, you can.
Yeah, and another problem is they imagine God like human beings. That's another problem. They think that if there are gods, they would fight. They just, watch, Hollywood movies and they think that gods are fighting each other, which is so funny. And not
Yeah.
only this, like I think they also get their answer from holy books. I don't think Quran says necessarily they would fight. I think it says there would be a chaos. Again, like it's the same thing. So they think that gods would have conflict, which is just an assumption. They think that gods' minds are working like human minds, which we don't know. If there's a god, we don't know how it works.
Mm-hmm.
Oh.
Yes, good.
Oh, fighter, why you're not sleeping, man? Come on. It's too late. Yeah, and again, like I was asking about the infinite regress problem, whether you're okay with it, because when you ask the question, hey, look at this universe, seems like it has been designed. Okay, no problem. Maybe that's the case. I don't know. But what about the designer? Maybe designer also has a designer, and then we'll keep like that infinitely. If you're okay with that, I don't have an answer for that. But if you're not okay with that, that means one thing can exist without a designer, without a cause. If you're able to accept that, then you can apply the same thing to our universe without questioning. Because if you think that there's a first cause, that means you're not questioning it deeply and you're accepting through the fade out, well, it doesn't have a cause. Okay, no problem. I'm okay with that also. But if something can exist with no cause, then we can apply it to anything. Like the universe. Universe doesn't have a cause. I can define the universe as something which doesn't have a creator, which doesn't have a cause, because it's already possible for you.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Fighter, I hope you're not using your devices while you're sleeping. Huh. Okay. That would be weird. Sleepwalking, sleep browsing, sleep streaming. Okay, if he can get the joke, that means he's not sleeping. Anyway, so what else? Cat Lauer.
Yes, this situation goes, we can talk about this topic every day. And because you and also I, we are only making assumptions and are thinking, we are creating some logics. Yes. And your examples are also very good. But as I said, I also ask this question since my childhood. And now, as I said, I am 46 years age old. And we will also not reach one solution. It is also a fact. And what can I say more? I think um, but there is one fact. It is very weird situation for me because absolutely I was very religious, but now it can be also many gods who can create this world. It is also not problem for me. Yeah, one god or too many gods. But I am a fact. I am aware of that. Yeah.
Who knows? Maybe you'll start believing a god exists in the future, or maybe you'll start following a religion. When people become old, they change their minds. Some of them they
Yes,
become
very much.
afraid of that, or they increase their expectations about afterlife, and they think that they can cheat God if God exists. Okay. And what is the time? Okay. Okay, maybe I can recreate for the last time to see whether there will be people or not. Okay. Hmm. Yep. I'll jump into the new room. The ones who wants to join, you're free to join.
Okay, thank you for your discussion.
Thanks
Have a
for
nice
joining.
sleep.
Okay,
Okay,
thanks.
bye-bye.
Yeah, don't forget to check the YouTube channel.
Okay, thank you.
Bye, take
Bye-bye.
care. Why you're not sleeping, fighter? After some time, okay. Less is more. What a name. Welcome, people. I hope you read the title of this room, and I hope you read the welcome message, which is a little bit important. Why it's important, you can understand after you read the welcome message. Right now? You mean right now, fighter? Or you mean nowadays? Oh, really? Okay. Maybe that's why we don't have much people here. It's contagious, maybe. But it's good. It's good. There are people who like to talk about it. That's good. Alexei. Maria. AFR. Okay. Maria. RZK. Atika. I remember this nickname. Atika. You had a different profile picture? Okay. We have RZK. Okay, many people, zero speakers. Good. Very good. People like to listen. That's not good. I cannot talk to myself that long. It's
Yeah,
boring.
I have a question. Like you
Hello.
have one.
Oh, wait. You guys started talking at the same time, and
Yeah.
Atika disconnected. Oh, what were you saying, Basma?
Hello.
Hello.
How are you doing?
I'm doing okay. How about you?
Yeah, I'm doing great.
Oh,
So, uh, do you have certain topics like or questions or something that we will start with?
Basma, is it your first day on this platform?
Yeah. No, no.
Okay, do you know what is a welcome message?
Yeah.
Okay, did you check the welcome message here?
Yes, yes.
Okay. Topics are clear in the message, but I can read it for you if you want.
I think people were silent because they were waiting for you to ask some questions or to start the conversation. So,
Okay, but like since the topics are specific, I mostly want other people to choose it because I decided those topics, but I don't want to force on one topic.
mm,
So yeah, that's why. But my question is, when it comes to God, do you believe that God exists or not? Atheism, no, I don't have questions for it, or agnosticism. When it comes to morality, I can ask, oh, do you believe in subjective morality or objective morality? Afterlife, do you believe in afterlife? If yes, why? Soul, the same questions. Existence of religions, I don't know. I just put that topic for, I don't know, for, for,
I think all of these topics are related to each other. Don't you think
you
so?
can say that the major topic is God here. Somehow,
Exactly.
all of them are connected.
Exactly.
Yeah. Yeah.
I think if someone says, yes, I believe in God, so they will say that we believe in afterlife and we believe the in the soul, and they will tell you the purpose of life according to the religion. So I
Yeah.
think,
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Mm.
don't you mind? Do you mind asking if you are interested in such topics, or you feel bored sometimes because of the repetition of them?
Uh, I'm talking about these topics for many years, mostly every day. So
And what did you get, if you don't me as
I
don't mind
believe
asking?
I got
Mm,
some experience. I learned, to speak more logical. That doesn't mean I'm always logical. That doesn't mean I always make sense. But since I am practicing these topics for a long time, I believe I have good examples for many of those arguments.
cool.
Yeah, and I can ask deep questions, I believe. It doesn't mean deeper than your questions, maybe, but yeah, relatively deeper. Because not many people are talking about these topics.
Exactly. Especially here.
Oh, especially here, just minutes ago, our friend Fighter said there are many rooms about God or religions. What was that? Let me check it. Um, oh, okay. Yeah, so many rooms about God right now. And I was surprised.
Yeah, because some people or most of the people who join here like, to spend their free time like talking about general topics, tribal topics, and not not deep topics like that. So this is
Mhm.
new to me.
Yeah, I respect that. All people have different kind of interests, and people are free to talk about anything, I think.
Exactly.
Yeah, you have the mic.
No, no, why?
What?
I said no, why? You're the owner here.
I don't get it.
Okay.
Yeah, probably you misunderstood something, or I'm not able to understand something right now.
Yeah, maybe I misunderstood something, so sorry.
Yeah, okay. There was a guy, he was typing in the chat box, and
Hello, hello.
I gave the mic, and my friend said, "You have the mic," and I said, "Yes, now you have the mic."
Thank you for giving me the opportunity to speak.
Okay, welcome.
Thank you, man. So, how's it going?
Fine, that's okay. How about
Amazing.
there?
It's going wonderful.
Wonderful.
So, I just saw that you've been speaking about like the God existence, uh, also like the possibility of what you call that, the existence of religions and afterlife. I don't know, like what I am sure about right now is that since there is a beginning of the universe from the Big Bang, or maybe like that is a new theory that is the world started from a universe which is larger than our universe, and that had collapsed in black hole and became a singularity, then it expanded again. All of this kind of stuff will lead to the same problem. I think this problem can be solved in only way, which is thinking about the world that had started. So we know this, in fact, that it had started. So the only question is that who created this universe? And if we tell there is someone who created the universe, then you will tell me who created the someone who created the universe. So it must be like an infinite cause, right? Someone created someone, then it will be infinite.
And you have a problem with that. You are the one who should solve it. How do you solve this problem? Do you have a problem
Yeah,
with it?
of course, I will tell you.
Cool. Let's
So,
hear about it.
so yeah, the thing is, I'm trying to play the two roles in the same time. Although I'm not having like a clear solution, but I'm trying to solve it in my own way, which is like if you look into this kind of paradox, then you will see like imagine I'm trying to shoot a ball and try to score, right? But
Sorry,
the
come
only
again.
way that
I didn't catch that part.
yeah, I said like imagine I'm trying to score with a ball, like a football. I'm
Hmm.
trying to score, right?
Okay.
And the only way that I can do that is to ask you. Then the only way that you can give me permission to do it is by asking, for example, your parent. Then the only way that your parent need give you permission is to ask their parent also. So imagine this kind of cycle goes to the grandparent and the grandparents and the grandparents infinitely, right? So imagine how much it will go to the infinite, and it cannot work, because if it's infinite to the past, it will never happen in the present.
Let's agree for the sake of argument. Okay, so, but this is not solving the whole problem.
Yeah, of course.
Why? Let me answer why. Because I can ask
Mhm.
who created this universe, then you can say X, and then I can say who created X, you can say Z, and I can ask, okay, who created Z, you can say P, and I can say who created P, you will say no, there's no creator, because it should stop. If you don't stop, then there wouldn't be this universe. There would be an infinite regress. It should stop here. I don't think you are holding such a belief. But this
I
solves the problem, your problem. It solves your problem.
Mhm.
Do you understand the problem right now? Because it's a new
Ye-
problem.
Yeah, I know it's a new problem. I know for a fact it's a problem. And the only way that I can understand that this kind of infinite possibility doesn't exist, it's because it's not consistent, since it cannot happen if it's infinite from the past. And
Yeah,
the only way that I
but what my example was not infinite.
Mhm.
I said
Yeah, I know, I
X
understand what you said.
Z P, so it's not an infinite.
Yeah, of course. But okay, you are telling me why you have this exception, and you will stop in the P, and you will say, of course, I need to stop here. That for a reason that I said, since the universe started, we know for the fact that it started. So we have this theory of Big Bang, we have other theories, but we know it's here, it exists. But the only thing we don't know is what ignited, what gave it the birth of this universe. So the only way I can say this is the existence of a higher being from another dimension who has the power of infinite itself. It has to be infinite. He has to be infinite himself.
I don't think it has to be infinite himself. Just because something causing this universe, it doesn't say that it's infinite. You can't derive such kind of a rule by just looking at this universe. But again,
So
like
you need.
you are the one who is starting a problem. You're not solving a problem. You're creating a problem by saying that this universe has a beginning and it cannot have the beginning without someone else. How do they know that?
Yeah,
Like well, why you're claiming
yeah.
that? And by asking or by stating that it requires a creator, you are
Mhm.
the guy who is starting the infinite cause problem, not me. You're the one. I could easily say, as an atheist, I could say that the universe is something that doesn't have a creator. That's how I define the universe. No creators at all. What is the explanation for this universe? It's necessary to exist. That's how it existed. It was necessary. That's how it existed. Can we go beyond that? No, we
Necessary.
cannot go beyond that. The universe necessarily existing. Why it exists? Because it's necessary to exist. So I can like bring such kind of a logic here, and it doesn't contradict with your opinion, which is, hey, there must be a starting point. Okay, let's start from this universe. Why we are going one step further? Since you're saying that we shouldn't ask such questions, who created this, who created this, but you're asking the question while you're saying, oh, we shouldn't do that because it's causing a problem. If you don't want a problem, don't create a problem in the first place.
In reality, that's a problem itself, because if you say it started from nothing, then
Oh,
okay. For example, if you say it's necessary to exist, but necessary isn't solving the problem that we have
really?
in our brain. That, yeah, because think about it. Like if I tell you, okay, someone is stabbed in this place, and you tell me how this happened. I say it's necessary. But how come it's necessary? You need to understand what happened before the event itself. So we try to solve the problem, all right?
Like there's a God who created this universe. Okay, how God exists? Oh no, it's there. And I solved your infinite regress problem, and you didn't answer me. I said,
No.
what if the universe has a cause and we call it X? And what if this X also has a cause and it's
Mhm.
Z? And what if this Z also has a cause, it's P? And it stops there. When we stop there, it solves your problem. But do you believe that this is our reality where there are one, two, three causes before the universe? And they are all intelligent beings.
Okay. So if P is infinite itself, I will accept this.
If P is infinite,
Yeah.
okay, one
Be-
infinite being can create another infinite being with It's
No,
so
no, no.
powerful.
It's
Why not?
impossible.
Why it's
It's
impossible?
impossible because it's infinite. And if
Well, what
even
do you
if
mean
you
by
try,
infinite? Well, what is infinite here?
okay, now if you try to imagine infinite, let's say for example, if I tell you 1 million, no, actually, it escape with one, then it will escape with two. So incrementing by three, four, five, you cannot stop imagining infinite, right? It always increment. So you cannot create infinite because you are already infinite. You cannot create something bigger than you because you are already the big. I don't
Okay.
know if you understand what I'm saying.
That doesn't mean you create something bigger than yourself.
Yeah, you have to create something less than yourself.
But
In
what do you
this
mean
case, I
by
will accept.
that's the problem. When you say something is infinite, what do you mean
Yeah.
exactly? Like what property is infinite here? The number of
No, not
causes?
only the number, the knowledge, the
Knowledge of it.
possibility, yeah, the power, right? So it has like all the power, more energy than anything else, like like something that we don't understand. Uh, like imagine if I say like it's a glitch
Oh,
or more
okay,
than a
okay,
glitch.
no, I will go for I will go for that. Okay, let's suppose X created this universe, but it's not
Mm,
infinite. Okay?
yeah.
X has a creator which is Z. Z is
Hmm.
more powerful than X. That's how
Yeah.
Z created X. And P,
Yeah.
yes, it's the last station. It created the Z, and that's all. And it's let's say it's infinite. I
Yeah.
don't again understand what you mean by infinite exactly, but okay, so do you believe that that's the case?
In our situation, yes, that's what I
Oh,
think. Because
oh,
the only way I can think that Z is not created by something else is because it's Z infinite itself. So how can something infinite be created with another infinite? Because the infinite itself doesn't finish.
and I think you didn't understand because I said, okay, I will go for your logic with your logic. So
Yeah.
I didn't claim that the one infinite created another infinite. That I just said, I
Hmm.
change it. Okay, no problem. So my question was, okay, do you have such a belief right now, which is you believe that there is a
Yeah.
P who is infinite, created something called Z, which is not infinite, but it's so powerful, intelligent, okay, knowledgeable, very knowledgeable, and then this created X, which is a little bit less powerful than
Yeah.
Z, and very knowledgeable again. Maybe not as much as the previous one, but since it's not infinite, then he can teach everything that he knows, so they can be equally knowledgeable. So, and then it created this universe. The X created the universe. So,
Yeah.
do you believe that we are living in such a reality where there are three creators? The first one created only thing, one thing, which is not universe. You can't say that it created everything. Still, it's eternal, infinite, or whatever you call it. It only created one thing. It's Z. Z is an intelligent being also, which is not infinite. It doesn't have infinite powers, but yet it created X, which is not as powerful as itself, but it's as knowledgeable as Z. And it decided to create this universe.
Yeah. Yeah.
So, do you think this is the case?
Yeah. Yeah. That's possible.
Well, I'm not asking whether this is possible or not, dude. My question is, do you believe in this? Do you believe that this is the case right now?
Okay, so basically, I think the verbs can differ from being created or being something else. Let's say, for example, if I cooked a meal, I cannot say I created the meal. I cooked the meal. So I think this kind of Z being and P being and the other beings, which are less powerful than the ultimate being, will be like. Um, another verb, maybe not created, maybe
Why
something like
not?
shape,
Why
maybe
not?
transformed.
So you think that an infinite, powerful, like you were speaking about those infinite powers,
Yeah.
cannot create a being who can create things?
Not what I mean. I meant because I think being created is a less uh, uh, okay, so a less value the verb compared to something else. For example, when I say I hit the hammer in the table, so I cannot say um, I knock in the door. I cannot say I'm creating the knocking in the door. I'm saying I'm knocking in the door directly. So the same
Why?
way, the verbs of creation into the other beings should be like something else, which is ultimate.
Why?
But
Why? Well,
in the
so what
context,
do you mean by creation? What is creation for you then?
creation it fits the humanity. So, for
It's
example,
the humanity? What do you mean?
yeah,
So, like,
human beings.
if
Yeah,
there's a God, gods cannot create?
they create, of course, they create, but they not create in the same way we imagine the human being being
Okay, like
created.
we're not talking about human beings so far. We have never talked about human beings. So why the hell you're talking about humans? I'm talking
Okay,
about
so
something else, not
yeah,
human.
by the way, when you said like X being which is less intelligent, then there is another one. By the way,
Yeah.
human beings should be considered as the X one,
Oh
right?
no, no,
Then
no,
the
no, no, no,
Z,
no, 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 no. Like humans, they don't create universes. So I said there is P at the beginning. P created a Z, Z created X, and X created this universe. So
yeah.
did you see any humans?
No. In
Any
this
human
case,
creating
I accept.
universes?
Okay, I accept what you said. Okay,
Okay, so like if it's not P, still Z can create things the way that you understand. So I think you understand creation as creating something from nothing. You can correct me if I'm wrong.
not really, because if P is transforming his energy, which is infinite, into the creation, then the creation is taking part from the first being and is starting to create again.
Come again, come again.
Because I said P is ultimately infinite, right?
Oh, yeah.
So he needs to use his the things that he has already then to create the new things, right? So it doesn't come from nothing. It comes from himself.
Yeah, but like the Z comes from P. I don't have a problem with that. But what P created doesn't come from P, okay? Z can create things
Of
out
course.
of nothing.
Which one? The
Z,
Z
the
or
second
P?
one. The second one.
No, the second one take from the first one.
Take what?
So he uses the environment. He takes the matter that is
No,
needed
no, it doesn't
to
take
create.
matter. No, it takes the knowledge from P, which he can create things out of nothing. So if you
Not
think,
even from nothing. It's from his energy. Yeah,
oh, how do they know that? How do they know creation works?
because he said. So okay, so there is only two possibilities. If I try to explain it mathematically. So let's say, for example, there is a possibility of 0 + 0 equals something, or infinite plus 0 equals something. So the most logical one in my situation, I consider infinite plus 0 equals something is more accurate than saying 0 + 0 equals 0, equals something, right? I don't
You're
know
saying
if you
that
understand.
something cannot be created out of nothing. Everything that exists just exists infinitely, and like we can only transform energy. That's what you think?
Please, can you repeat?
Energy cannot be created from nothing. It just exists like that, and it can be only transferred. That's what you're saying, I think.
Yes, exactly.
No
But
problem.
it's transferred
No,
from
no
P.
problem. Let's
It's
suppose,
transferred from P.
yeah, it's transferred from P, no problem. But
Yeah.
But Z decides what to do with that energy. So he can shape the energy the way that he wants with his
Exactly. Yeah.
knowledge. So
Yeah.
again, like my question was, do you believe that this is our reality, that there are three intelligent beings? One of them is, yeah, infinitely powerful, but he doesn't care about this universe. He didn't create this universe. He just created the Z, which is another intelligent being, which is so powerful again. It doesn't have any relation with the universe also. It's just in the part of the causal chain, but they didn't desire to create the universe. Only Z created this universe, and it doesn't have
Hmm.
eternal powers,
Okay, so
infinite. It just has a creator.
yeah, so I will tell you my answer into this question. I would say maybe there is more than three, maybe than four, than five, six, seven. But you know what? I don't care about those in the middle because what I care about is the limit. The limit will be the infinite, and if the infinite is the God, that should be the God. So who created the universe? So I can take that as a belief. I know that it must be like something in the middle. We can ask the God if we find him one day and tell him what's going on. We don't understand your full power. How did you get this? But at the end of the day, it answers some little question of
Okay, so
if that word started, so something created it, but
okay,
the something has to be infinite.
so you don't know how many creators out there.
Yeah, maybe 1 million, 1 billion, but the
Okay.
most powerful one is the infinite.
So, okay, but for me, not necessarily, but anyway, no problem. I don't have a problem with that, but I have a problem with one thing. When you say the universe began to exist, what do you mean exactly?
I'm trying to say from the point of the boson X, the singularity when it exploded and started to extend, and this black matter, which is trying to push
What about the
the
singularity
universe to
itself?
expand more. What?
What about
The universe itself?
the singularity itself? Isn't the universe also?
Yeah, that's what I said to you because there is other theories that said the universe used to be a larger one, then it goes inside the black hole, then it became so small because the gravitational wave are very big, and it made it so small until it because it's so strong, the gravitation, it broke the space-time tissue, and it expanded again as a new universe, right? And again it will go into inside another, another black hole. Then this is kind of theories. I don't know. Should I care about it? Because if I know it started, something started it, and this something, if it has this
But
power to
like,
create
but
universes, has to be
based on what you said, you cannot pinpoint the starting point. You don't know. Maybe it goes like that, or maybe it's
yeah.
started like here in this universe, like what we observe as Big Bang. Maybe it was the starting point. Maybe there was nothing before that. But
Here's the
my
catch.
problem is with the singularity because like what we observe so far is only singularity, right? And further than that is just speculation. Either
No,
it was
there
in a,
is
there is what?
there is a new article that said it's I think I saw it like just 2 days ago, and it was saying like our studies were wrong, and
Yeah,
in
it's very
reality,
new. It's very
it,
new.
yeah, exactly, that one. So I don't know if it's true or not, but the thing is, you
Okay.
know that's why science can be wrong sometimes. It changes over time. Even like the classical mechanics of Newton came into there is a time that came, then we discovered quantum mechanics. It doesn't even match what is going on in quantum mechanics and Newton mechanics. And
Yeah.
sometimes also it discover new things, even in the same classical mechanics with Bernoulli, for example, in his theory of force equal mass multiplied by acceleration. Bernoulli saw it in the phenomenon of the light, which is I don't know how to say it in English. So it's breaking when it touches a surface of water. Then it started to try to find the fastest way to reach, like I don't know how to explain. It's a big topic, but what I mean is that even in science it changes. So I think it's beautiful. I will be super bored if science was like constant and it doesn't change. You know, I love it like this. It's like a special canvas.
Do
Yeah,
you think that the statement the sun is rotating around the black hole is gonna change in the future?
probably. Yeah,
Really?
yeah.
Like,
You know, even in the conjuncture of Poincaré, he said that never parallel lines will touch, right? But if you try to switch
what about
the the space time,
the Earth
it
rotates?
will.
The Earth rotates around the sun. Do you think that on this knowledge like? Do you think that we'll learn that it was false? We were not rotating around the sun.
What do you mean by rotate?
Rotate?
Because I will show you a video. You will see if it's rotating or maybe making elliptical movement, which is not even rotational. It's like a spring. It's going forward and it's springing around the sun. So it's not even rotation. It's like going forward to a certain point that it doesn't even know where it's going. So we don't have this amount of knowledge. You know, the
Okay.
observable universe is only 1%. We don't observe all the universe. You know that. We observe only 1%. So imagine all the things that you don't see.
Man,
Imagine
you're
like
not making any sense right now, and it's a little bit unknown. You should know that.
I
We're
don't know,
not
man.
talking about the universe. We're not talking about the not observable part of the universe. We're talking about our very close neighborhood. It's about our solar system. I don't know what you
I'm
mean by
so
rotation.
I can't even hear you. One second. I'm sorry. I think I have an issue with my mic.
I don't know.
Uh, I will refresh. One second.
Here, problems, they don't relate to the mic, they relate to the speaker. And they relate to other people's microphone. Maybe my microphone was the problem, or my connection, or maybe his connection.
Hello.
Hello.
I don't know what happened. Why I don't hear you?
I don't
Ah,
know.
yeah, now I hear you. Now I hear you.
Now you hear me, okay? I don't know,
Yeah.
maybe it's connection.
Again?
Maybe it was connection, I don't know. Maybe your internet, maybe my internet, or maybe
Yeah.
this website. Sometimes this website is glitching.
Yeah. I don't even know what happened. I swear to God.
You're breaking a little bit. Maybe
Yeah,
it
yeah.
was
It's
your
my
internet.
internet. Yeah, that's true.
Welcome back, Horash. Did you have a good one after I left?
Um, I don't remember what happened, but everything's good. Everything's good.
Okay. I muted Jack 2 times today.
Oh,
Yeah, he was doing okay.
he's a bit rowdy.
Yeah, he is.
Uh,
And surprised we have the same topic.
what do you mean? What topic?
The same topics.
Well, you're the one that chooses them, right?
Yeah, I'm not complaining. Whew. Okay, our AI works in French.
Yeah. Okay. I'm sorry. I'm trying to make it in English once again.
The afterlife, soul, existence of religions, the purpose of life. So,
Yeah, the same topics
mhm.
as always.
I've been looking into the origins of Yahweh.
Yahweh. Oh,
Yeah, watching videos on that.
Any interesting information that you?
You know, he he comes basically south of Canaan. I don't know exactly. There was a reference to Yahweh or Yahoo. They're not even sure how. Uh, in some Egyptian script somewhere in the 13th century, but it had nothing to do with the Israelites. I don't think. I'm not sure. Eventually, I don't know. Israelites get hooked up to it. They end up getting absorbed into the Canaanite pantheon. Yahweh took his proper place as a child of El, a subordinate to El.
People copy paste stories also.
The only reason Yahweh got big is because of Christianity and Rome. That's the only reason why we're still talking about Yahweh.
Mm-hmm. Okay, the
Once you make Christianity a global concern, you have to take the baggage that comes with it. So,
Yeah. It's not about that. I don't remember where I saw that. Damn.
okay. Well, what are you trying to learn, Mr. Meow?
Well, I'm just exploring. I don't have a specific thing to learn, but I explore everything in the universe, like
Okay.
biology, music, everything.
My question was about the chat box.
Yeah. And the chat box, I was going to search this kind of. I saw this conjecture which said if you try to like um, reshape the space time, you can make like two lines which are parallel intersect with each other,
uh-oh.
and yeah. So imagine like you have a parallel, but you intersect them just by deforming the space time, which is
Hmm.
crazy, right? I think something it's not in our dimension, which should be like in more than fifth dimension or
Well,
sixth.
man, just because one statement can be false, that doesn't mean all statements are false. If I say the Earth is not flat, do you think that this statement is false?
The Earth is not flat.
Yeah.
I don't know. You
You don't
have to
know?
give a proof. You have to give me a proof. If you say anything, you need to prove to me. But I don't. I don't believe that.
You
You
I
don't
think
don't
the
believe?
believe.
Earth? You think the
I,
Earth is flat, Mister
no,
Meow?
no, no. The opposite.
Well, he said the Earth is not flat.
Yeah,
Is it?
yeah. Of course.
Is it true?
Okay, well, why I made that statement because, well, you're saying that, oh, like there were claims that turned out to be false. That's why you were asking ChatGPT, right? Or you made that statement that, oh, we were thinking like that, but now we learned that it's false. Okay, I know that like we had statements that we learned that they were false and they're false. But that doesn't mean
Yeah,
all statements that we made are false.
yeah. Of
Okay.
course.
Yeah. And I don't know like how this conversation started from where we came.
Yeah.
That's hard to remember for me right now. I'm tired. Oh, I think yeah, we were talking about Big Bang. That's how we came here. So yeah, that was the problem, but he disconnected.
I'm a little bit tired myself.
Yeah, you also sound tired.
I'll have a cup of coffee and a piece of cake.
My internet is so bad.
Not so bad. I have seen really
Worse.
terrible ones. Mhm. Yeah, like I remembered, like we started talking about Big Bang, so you started questioning what if the universe was like in a black hole and collapsed and, started expanding again and might be collapsing again in the future. Like what I said,
Yep.
like, yeah, this is a speculation, and then you said, oh, look, there's a new article that suggests that maybe that was the case. Oh, okay,
Mhm.
like, so let's suppose it started from somewhere, but that
Uh,
means like everything started existing or things started, moving. So let's suppose like everything either from a singularity or from an expanded universe, it started from there.
yeah.
That doesn't mean it started from nothing, right?
Yeah. Exactly.
Okay. So if it didn't start from nothing, can't we
Yeah.
say it just exists always?
Y- like we are just giving different terms to what is God, because you can say like universe is God itself, but the
Oh,
only thing, yeah, but the only problem is that people think that the universe is dumb. But for me, the universe has consciousness, and it communicates with even with a human being right now. So there is some cases like, people from the medieval time, they don't know what is electricity, they don't know what is some kind of different stuff, but right now it gives you knowledge by time, like they reach at a certain point of time and they discover this new energy. You don't even know, like after 1000 years maybe you will find a new type of energy that they start using, like a fuel, like, I don't know, like that's what I'm saying. Like a universe for me can be God, but the universe has consciousness, and if this universe is infinite, I will accept it. I will even call it like the Godfather. You know?
I will call it God.
Yeah.
Yeah, but it doesn't mean like existing always means infinite for you,
Yeah, that's the problem. You said to
or
me,
existing always means it has infinite power. No, right?
what? Well, I didn't understand the question.
Like if something exists always, does that mean it has infinite power?
No, no, no. It's different.
Oh yeah, but
No.
this universe might be existing always, but also not having infinite power, right? In that case, it doesn't count as a god for you.
Descartes said that something which is strong cannot create, well, for example, let's forget about strong. Something cannot create something bigger than himself. Bigger than himself in attributes. I'm not saying that, of course we can create ChatGPT which is faster, intelligent, but it's not in the same level of us which are conscious. Okay, so if we can find something that can create a better thing than themselves, then I will accept what you are saying. But in
Yeah,
this
but that's
situation,
also possible, right? Let's suppose that there are 1 million creators. They create something, and the thing that they had created can be greater than the ones that created it? Why not?
That's not possible
Why not? Because
because in,
this is the collection of intelligent beings created something, and comparing to one creator, that thing that they created can be greater than one thing or one creator. Why not?
okay, okay, I will tell you. Because the first thing that created, which is the infinite, is always, as I told you, expanding, and it's always incrementing its attributes by time.
It's
So even there is, like, I will tell you, like, when we try to reach the limit of the universe, but they tell you like that it's the expansion is faster than our speed. It's like the similar thing when you create like a being, and this being has certain knowledge. Of course it's strong, it has like ultimate knowledge, it has many things, many skills, but compared to the first one, it actually skyrocketed before even you can see.
getting that part. But what I said, if there are many creators of one thing,
Hmm.
then the thing that they created can be greater than one of those creatures.
It's impossible.
Why?
Again, because infinite is greater than the, okay, I will give you an
Infinite.
example.
But like, who said that those creators are infinite? No one said that.
No, but the first one I told you is infinite, which is the universe should be infinite because you choose it a certain point to explain it started from singularity or maybe the universe. It's like the story of the which is first, the chicken or the egg. So of course, one of them had created the other one,
Yeah, but
but we
now,
don't care.
I think you're not focusing on specific properties. What is infinite here? So when we talk about universe, when we talk about whether universe is infinite or not, we're talking about the duration of the existence of the universe, not the energy or power of the universe, right? So you can't claim that just because one property is infinite, the others are also. You can't claim that. Maybe, yeah, like one or two or some properties are infinite. That doesn't mean all properties of that thing is infinite.
You cannot also refute that.
I cannot refute what.
Refute that not all the properties are infinite, because as you can see, there is a lot of black holes and there is a lot of amount of stars, a lot of galaxies, a lot of clusters, hyper clusters. You can find many things, and even the unobservable ones. Like, we didn't even reach the state of seeing everything, but we just assume that it's infinite because it's more logical.
It's more logical when we observe this universe, and while we're observing with limitations.
Yeah.
Really,
Yeah, for me, yeah.
it's
Of course,
interesting,
because
man.
yeah, but to reply to your first question, when you said like if we take many gods which are not infinite and we make addition the sum of these odd gods and compare them to the infinite, it cannot reach the infinite god. Let's say, for example, I take an infinite number and then I will take a huge number and I addition it to another huge number. It will never reach the infinite, even if it's huge already.
I don't
That's
understand why you're giving this example.
because numbers are the best way to explain what is infinite. Just because
Well, we're
I
talking
you
about infinity here. So, do we know whether the universe is infinite or not? No, we don't know. Do we know that there's
of
a
course.
creator of this universe? No, we don't know. Do we
So
know
if
if
the
there's a
universe is not
creator?
infinite,
Uh, if it's
it's
not infinite,
but
so what?
it's wrong. It's wrong to think the universe is not infinite. I
Oh,
told you,
okay, you
you
believe that
I
it's
at,
infinite. Okay.
so if the universe is not infinite, then someone created it. Then if
It's
this
not.
someone created it, there is another one who created it. It cannot be
Okay, so
necessarily existing without anything.
you think that the universe is infinite, therefore no creator of this universe? That's what you think?
Exactly. And
Oh,
if the universe is the infinite, then the infinite itself is the God. then it should be having the knowledge to create something which is also having knowledge. Then because this knowledge came from him itself.
So you believe that
So
the universe itself is a god?
it can be, no problem.
What
If
do you
it's
mean?
infinite,
I'm not asking what can be. I'm asking what you believe in. Do you believe that
I
this
am
universe is infinite and it's a god?
okay, I will tell you. If you are infinite and you have all the knowledge and all power, I will consider you as a god.
Yeah, but my
Yeah.
question was about the universe. Do you think that the universe is a god?
Yeah, but this question I answered you already. I said anything that is already infinite. If this universe is infinite, but I don't consider the universe is infinite because it started from a point, and I think that something created this universe. And then you told me before who created this universe, maybe X,
Yeah.
maybe Z, but I told you the way I stop it is by thinking if this kind of being is infinite or not. And if in this situation, because I don't know everything, of course, if this situation it comes to be a universe, I will accept it. Even if this universe is a god and it has infinity, infinite power, omnipotent, omniscient, and they have everything, I will accept it.
Okay. Okay.
Another Mr. Meow. Oh my god.
Yeah,
In the chat box.
you have twin.
Yeah.
Hey, Dimitri, welcome.
Yeah, it's a different person actually. It was
Excuse me.
another.
This is the tape I've been listening to. One of them, anyway.
Oh, okay.
I'm just play it in the room and listen to it again.
Okay, got it, got it. But anyway, guys, I think I should leave. I got really tired.
Thank you so much, bro.
Thanks
I
for
love the
joining.
conversation with you.
Okay, yeah, it was fun. It was fun. Thanks for joining.
Yeah. But let me know about your thoughts next time. I want to hear you.
I'm
I
an
want to
agnostic
know.
atheist. I don't believe that there is a God.
Yeah, but how do you find everything is consistent with
I
this
don't think
thoughts?
everything is consistent.
So it came from yeah. Do you think that there is order in this universe or
I don't
disorder?
believe in that.
It's a pure hazard, right?
La- Like there are things that we can look as a pattern and we can call it that looks like an order. But
Hmm.
to be able to say that it's an order or not, we have to find a cause that intentionally ordering those things. Then I can call it order. But if we don't find such kind of a cause, there's no need to call that an order.
Hmm. So, for example, if I start playing in a piano, but I click onto random notes and I make like a messy song,
Mhm.
do you think this one is disorder or order in this situation?
If you do it randomly,
Yeah.
like someone can take it as an order, can see it as an
Why?
order, because you did it. You did it
Yeah, but
intentionally, right? You intentionally, randomly, clicked on the notes, right?
what if they didn't see me?
Yeah, that's the problem. If they don't see the cause, it's either an order or not. It's hard to know, and we don't see the person or whether there is a person behind this universe or not. So it can be an order, there can be an order, or may not be.
One way that I thought about this is is by looking into the notes themselves. If those notes, even if they sound like creepy or make like a noisy sound, but I want to know if this note is a wave and if it has like an amplitude, the magnitude, and everything, you know, and you check the vibration, then you find some kind of order in a disorder, and hence I understand it came from an order. Yeah, I don't know if you get my idea. So
Like if someone is randomly pushing the buttons, how can you do that?
yeah, because I try to understand the sound, not if it's good or bad. I am trying to understand scientifically if inside the note, the vibration, how the sound was made, and if you understand how the sound was made and you find some kind of order in the physics in it, you will maybe understand that the even if it's disorder sound, but you understand that it came from an order, you know, ordered
Um,
person. I don't know if you
listen,
understand it.
I maybe probably didn't understand what you said, but again, what we observe can be result of an, you know, intelligent action, or may not be. Like, but to be able to confirm that, we should find a cause, then we should investigate the cause, and then we should, understand whether that cause caused that thing intentionally. Because we do a lot of things and we even don't realize what we are causing, right? That doesn't mean
Yeah.
we're ordering those things. So, for example, if you enter my room, you will
Yeah.
find a lot of things. It seems like randomly things there. Okay.
Hmm.
But who tells that it's just random? Who tells that there is no order in this room? Maybe I specifically put all those objects in their places. Maybe I did it intentionally. So that means there's an order, but you don't know.
Exactly. Yeah.
Yeah, and the only way is to find a cause, then try to analyze why and how this cause is causing those things. Again, like if I um if I carry a box, okay, full of objects,
Hmm.
and if I drop the box, okay,
Yeah.
on the way, and when you observe those objects on the ground, you
Hmm.
can say that, okay, yeah, someone just dropped it, and randomly those objects, scattered around.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, but you don't see how it happened. What if the case was I, come to that point with my box? I didn't drop it. I took every piece one by one, okay, and I located all those objects wherever I see an ant. Okay,
Yeah.
now it makes sense for the people who observe what I was doing. Like I could share my, purpose with them. I could tell them, hey, wait a second. You see what I'm doing? I'm putting all those objects wherever I see an ant. So
But my question here is why we do this. Is it for to understand the purpose, or maybe to understand if there is someone who dropped the box, or maybe put them in the ground
the
directly,
example
just in
is to show
yeah.
that like how to understand whether there is an order or not. Because the case
But
of this universe could be like the box that we dropped.
yeah, but that's an order also, because if it's
That's an
dropped
order.
already, so even if it's a messy thing, but it came from someone who dropped it, and this someone should be like an order.
Uh,
I know it's
really?
disorder
With an order?
because yeah, because I know the consequence is disorder, but the one who dropped it is order, right?
Uh,
In your example, I'm
no,
not
no.
speaking
In
about
my
us.
example, it was an order. Like I just dropped it. That's all.
Yeah,
I didn't
and you
decide.
are the order
I
in the
didn't decide
yeah,
every object where it should fall. Exactly. I didn't decide that. So how can you say that it was an order?
yeah, but that's not the issue. Yeah, the issue here, if you didn't decide it goes here or that, but the thing is you took the action to raise the box and walk with it, then something happened,
Yes,
right?
something
And
happened.
and and it didn't came from nowhere. It came from you. That's what I want to
Yeah,
say.
it was
If
unintentional. I didn't decide any object where to fall exactly. So how can you speak
that's
about an
okay,
order? That's not okay
that's
because
okay.
it's not an order.
No, the thing is, I know it came randomly, but after that, you will choose to take the pieces again into the box and continue
No,
your
no,
purpose,
no, no, no,
or
no,
maybe
no,
you
no,
leave
no. I
them.
will not. I will not. I will leave them, and after I leave that place, you'll just look at those objects and you might think that, oh, someone just dropped them.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Then I will understand that someone made it
Yeah,
or
yeah,
created
but
this
that's
map.
why I gave you the example. Just because you didn't observe that, it can be anything. Like if you look at my ant example, maybe I didn't drop the box. Maybe I put all those objects intentionally to their places, to their locations. And then we can talk about an order because I do something intentionally, right? And there's a reason why I'm doing that. An intention. So intentionality changes the thing, right? So just because let's suppose you find an object in your room out of nowhere. I mean, you don't know how it came there.
Mhm.
Maybe yeah, like your friend just dropped that object in your room. Okay.
Yeah.
Or maybe someone
Okay.
put it there intentionally for a purpose. You just don't know what was the cause.
Yeah.
And there are different examples. And again, like this universe, maybe
I,
like a box that someone dropped. No, we don't even have to talk about someone here, but you can just focus on the objects. Like it dropped, and all those pieces fall in a place which was random, and or maybe there is someone and brought all those pieces together in their exact locations. Maybe that's what our reality is right now, and I don't know the answer.
yeah. I like it, by the way, because it makes sense. But the problem here, if I imagine being in this situation and trying to understand the higher being, trying to give another analogy and say, like, if you were like a video game, which is you are in a screen in a two-dimension, and you try to understand you who is playing the game, right? So imagine Super Mario trying to understand in you. It's impossible, right? Because it's just a game and you are playing it with a monitor. So same thing, if someone created you already in this universe, I think you cannot even understand the wisdom until it allows you, because you are playing into, you are just made.
I agree
um,
that if we have a creator, that doesn't mean we can understand the creator. I agree with you. But if there is a creator, if there is
yeah,
no
but
creator, then there's nothing to understand.
yeah, for the same reason we cannot even know, because we are in this less dimension compared to his place, right?
Yeah,
I don't
yeah.
know.
Uh,
Immanuel Kant said this. Immanuel Kant, the fourth dimension of fifth dimension. Even with your thoughts, like, you are limited.
yeah,
So
yeah. There is a creator, then there can be many ways to reach, the answer. Maybe God created this universe in a way that we can reach the God. Or maybe God is intervening, or maybe God will intervene. Then we can get an answer.
yes, I agree.
Anyway, man, like I should go.
All right, thank you,
But
man.
yeah,
Thank you.
yeah, but thanks really for joining.
It's a big pleasure for me. Thank you so much.
Yeah, I think Parasha is watching the video. Okay. He got bored our conversation. That's okay.
Yeah.
So, Julie, thanks for joining. Fighter, you should sleep, man. Dimitri, you should maybe think about sleeping, but thanks for joining. See you guys later on.
See you. Bye bye. Have a wonderful day.
Thank you.